If you want to scale to over $1 million a year with just paid advertising for your high ticket offer, then you want to watch this video. And then why should you listen to me? A very, very good question. I've been running this YouTube channel for over 4 years. You can see here 4 years ago, I did a video about contacting Facebook support. You can see how young I was back then. And I've been doing videos on how to get clients using Instagram, cold email when it used to actually work. And obviously in the last 3-4 years, I've been running ads consistently, and I've been a media buyer for 10 plus years. Okay. So I know this stuff inside and out. I have over 500 agency owners, coaches, and consultants with my business, AutomateClients.io. We're rated excellent on Trustpilot, so you can take a look at all of that. What I want to give you today is just pure value, pure information on how you can actually just go ahead and do it yourself, right? Because I know there's some people that will just want to learn, they want to take the information and run with it. This is for you. If you're someone that just wants to know, the high level stuff, again, this is for you, because I'm going to go into everything that you need to understand, the fundamentals that allow somebody to take a high ticket offer, whether you're already making 10K a month, even 50K a month, or if you're just getting started. This is going to make a lot of sense, and it's going to be what you need to do, right? Whether you listen to me or not, this is the stuff that works. So if you don't listen to me and you go and pay someone $10,000 for their coaching program, this is going to tell you the same stuff anyway, okay? So you have to break everything down into 3 main steps, okay? Those main steps are very simple. Number 1 is the offer. I'm sure you had that before. Number 2 is the system. And then number 3 is sales. Okay. If you can get these 3 things dialed in, you can scale. Okay. You can go and make $1 million a year. You can make $10 million a year with this system, with this strategy. It's how businesses work. Okay. It's not like I'm reinventing the wheel. Now, if you're somebody watching this, the first thing you have to understand is how to build an offer. Okay. Who is your audience? This is the most important part. If you do not know who your audience is down to the absolute T, it will not scale. So if you're, a fitness coach and you work with anyone that wants to lose weight, that's not going to scale, because you're not going to be able to increase your prices. You're going to be seen as a commodity, right? You're going to be able to charge maybe $100 a month, $200 a month, and you can be competing with gurus that are, pitching masses to their masses, their app that are charging $50 a month for, right? So you're just helping people lose weight, and that's that. And anyone who wants to lose weight can pay you money. You're playing a losing battle, because to get to $1 million a year, you're going to have to sign thousands of clients, if not tens of thousands of clients, just to do that one time. Okay. So by simply focusing on an audience, and what we do is we go into a fitness-based offer right now to show you how it works. Okay. It works for any offer, but just to do fitness for an example. So I'd be very, very specific. Okay. So let's think about who I am, right? So I am a father of 3. I am based in the UK. I'm a business owner, an entrepreneur. I manage and run an agency. So these are things that make me unique to myself, right? There's probably something else I can pull from. I'm a 20-year-old. I'm 28 years old, so I can maybe pull on that. I want to be very, very specific, okay? So my audience is going to be, as an example, that specific. So entrepreneurs, let's even get more specific, right? Agency owner dads that want to scale without, without gaining weight. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. Or they want to scale and want to drop 20 pounds in the next 5 days, whatever. Like basically, you want to be a scaling agency owner and you want to make 100K a month, but you also want to have your health and your mindset dialed in. That can be an audience, because a very, very specific audience, probably less than 10,000, maybe 10 to 20,000 people, that if you actually hit them home where they are at their home, how they feel, what they're actually living through, right? The more specific, the better. So if there was a health professional that was like, hey, James, I work with agency owners that are trying to hit, 10 million, and also a dad, they have very unique problems and they have very unique lives. Those are the people that I've helped. I've also helped 10 other people just like you drop 20 pounds, get shredded, and scale to $10 million a year. Because of that, that's a program I'm going to be interested in, because that's what I'm trying to do, right? So if you're just like, hey, I'm going to help you lose weight, cool. Everyone wants to lose weight. Everyone in January wants to lose weight. So it's such a commodity. What you have to be is very, very specific. One of my best performing clients, Sudipta, she targets Indian women living in the US, because that's who she is, right? And then she helps them lose weight, which is her main outcome, but she helps them lose weight. But it's lose weight without giving up the Indian foods they love, right? And obviously there's unique pain points within this that only Indian women living in the US would actually resonate with, okay? So she's a very specific audience, and that's what makes her scale. It isn't how good her offer is, that helps, but 80% of the work is the audience. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're a coach or a consultant or an agency owner, the more specific you are, the better. So for me, I help people basically stuck between 10 to 100K a month that want to automate their client acquisition without burning out or sacrificing all their profits, right? So that's like a unique audience. That's who I'm helping. So you have to think how unique your audience is. You have to look at it through this lens. Now, the pain of this audience is very specific, right? So the pain of my audience could be they bought a coaching program and did not get results. They have ran ads, but the lead quality is poor. Maybe they tried hiring a sales rep who did not perform, or maybe they've hired / working with an agency that is not project. Like there's so many different pain points, right? But that's what we have to write down, all the different pain points. Now, what is the solution to this audience, right? 10 to 100K a month, they want to automate their client acquisition without burning out or sacrificing all their profits. And this is their pain. Well, the solution is very simple. It is a proven end-to-end done for you acquisition engine built in 10 days, custom made, and and you only pay based on performance, right? So what you're basically saying is, I know you've been burnt. I'm not here to charge you $20,000 and tell you, trust me, bro. We have the proof. We have the accolades. We have the experience. I don't want your money today. I want your money because it works, not because anything else. So like, it's really, really important. Like, this is the solution. Okay. There's obviously more to that. I'm trying to be as fast as possible so you don't get bored out of your mind. Now, the proof is really important, right? So for example, I help someone called Evan hit 100K a month in 6 months with just literally $50 a day in ads, right? That's good proof. I have more, but as an example. Now, what I have to do is build an offer around this. So what you have to think about is, what are the outcomes that your audience wants? So why my audience wants clients. What they don't want leads, because leads don't mean anything. They don't want appointments because they've already got appointments probably and they just can't close them. So they want qualified appointments will be the next thing they want. And then from that, they want clients, but they also want the clients to be sold for them, right? So the actual offer itself has to be very, very simply, again, it's the old framework, isn't it? So it's like achieve X result. This is 10 different ways you can do an offer. Achieve X result in Y time or risk reversal. That's the most basic offer framing ever. But what I could say, again, everyone's so sick and tired of guarantees. So another way you can say is, I will install 20 clients a month, paid ad machine in just 10 days, and you only pay if it scales, right? Like, that's a pretty good offer. But all I'm saying is, I have a thing that I'm going to do for you to get an outcome that you want in just 10 days, and you're only paying if it actually works, right? But it's like anything in life. Every guarantee is going to be different. Every person you speak to is going to be different. The way you have to look at your offer is simply your promotion. It is not your service, okay? I'll give you a really, really, really good example of this. So American Express will run an offer on their ads that will say, get 50K free points today. Okay, that's their offer. As you can imagine, they get a shit ton of clicks on that offer. What they don't tell you is 95% of people are not eligible for that offer. So what do? They downsell them into other cards. Like, it's that simple. Okay, like, it really is that simple. Is what you're saying, like, hey, I have a really good offer. Let's talk about it. Not, hey, I have a really good offer. hit go buy it on the checkout page on the next step, right? You're saying this could be for you, but if it isn't, no harm, no foul. Let's see what we can do to help you, okay? Because it's about problems and solution. It's not about I saw your guarantee and that's what I want. Okay, if that's what you want, right now you aren't eligible for the platinum card on American Express because your credit score is 210. What do you want me to do about that? Right? I can still help you. If you want credit, we can get you on this card, but it's not going to be the one you wanted originally. That's how business works, right? It's like I really want to buy the house down the road, but I can't afford it. So what am I going to do? Buy a different house. You're not just going to live on the street. So what I'm trying to say is like you have to use the offer as a promotion to get people interested and create curiosity. That's the only goal. That's the only objective of an offer. It's not to sell. Because if you try and sell the offer and it's a blanket offer to every single person, you're going to have a lot of problems because everyone has different expectations, a different situation, different goals, everything like that, especially in the high ticket B2C, B2B space. Okay. The only way you can do a blanket offer is it's very, very cheap. You get like a $97 a month, $500 one-time payment thing that you can afford to be like, okay, 10% of people are going to ask for a refund because 10% of people are not going to be a good fit for this, but I want to mass market and I want to scale that way. But for us, we obviously don't want to be giving refunds to people because we want to be working with people that we can actually help. So we want to be very specific on who we say yes to. But at the top of the funnel, we want everyone to be interested, and then we have the action and control of qualifying who we work with. If we forgive that and we give the control to the consumer, they're just going to end up coming in and not being happy anyway. So you need that qualification step, right? You need it. I promise you, it makes life so much easier for you. And that is the sales school. Okay, we're just going to get to in a second. And that's why I don't like selling through the DMs and offer docs, because we don't actually know who we're actually selling to. What we can see is their Instagram profile. So they could just sign up and then charge back the next day because they're just a scammer, just trying to resell your stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like that can happen. So that's how you got to look at the offer. Okay, so you've got the audience, be very, very specific. You've got the pain of the audience. You've got the solution that you provide to fix this pain. And then you've got the proof of being able to do that, which then allows you to create an offer, something like this, as just one example. Okay, obviously there's so many different ways you can spin an offer. You don't want to be the same as everyone else, so get creative is all I'd say. And you can have 5 different offers that you push, and then obviously the winning offer you can spend more on. So my active offer and ads that I'm running, I've been using since August 2023. So it's going to be 3 years at this point. My marketing has always stayed the same. The way that I sell and how much we charge has changed, but the actual top of the funnel stuff has stayed the same. We should tell you everything you need to know. Okay. Now the pricing, obviously, is completely up to you. Then you should never charge. You should never, ever, ever, ever charge less than 20k, 2.5k. Okay, typically USD, so £2,000 British pounds. So never charge less than 2.5k. Why? Because you need margin, first of all, and you need skin in the game, right? So what you'll find is if you charge them for $500, just not enough skin in the game. People just don't actually care enough, and they're just not going to do the job, and they're just going to hate that thing anyway. So the more you charge, the more people are going to actually put in terms of effort. Because it's always a two-way door, right? If you're selling fitness, you're selling any sort of transformation, you need there to be as much input there as output in terms of fulfillment. Okay, so charge as much as humanly possible, and obviously pricing is the different one. It's a two-way revolving door, and obviously you want to make sure you have margin, right? So if you want to be trying to aim for at least 50% margin, depends on what you sell, but obviously I'd say 50% margin is a benchmark that everyone should be aiming for, especially if you're less than 100k a month. Okay, if you're above 100k a month, it's different at scale. You're going to have less margin, you have more team, more costs just in general. But just in a beginner's sense of running ads, you don't want to be promoting stuff with ads that is less than 2.5k USD. You're just not going to have enough to scale. Okay. Now, when it comes to a guarantee, the most common guarantees you'll probably see on your newsfeed is "or you don't pay." What that literally means, by the way, if you don't already know, is we will work for free until you do. Mostly in B2C. In agency space as well, it's like, hey, we'll give you a free month of management. But the reason "or you don't pay" works, and just like it's just that pinch of risk reversal. It's like, look, we're here to make it work one way or another. We're not here just to say you want to hope and a prayer. Like we're putting our skin in the game as well, and like we want to make sure that we're finding a fair solution. And obviously, if it doesn't work, we'll work for free until you do, or you can have all your money back, which literally just means if you don't see a result in XYZ time, and you've done XYZ conditions, we can give you money back. The thing with guarantees is that even if you're selling ice cream, people are always going to ask for their money back or a different flavor, a different service. So like, you can't please everyone. There's always going to be a percentage of people that ask for their money back or they charge back, whatever it is. So you want to have some sort of guarantee clause, right? Whether it's like, hey, within the first 72 hours, if you change your mind, we'll give you money back, or within the first week, whatever. Like just anything that just has that element of like, this is what happens if you're not happy, right? Because if you just don't have any of it and people ask, then what are you going to do, right? Like we don't offer refunds. Okay, I appreciate that. But what happens if tomorrow I change my mind? Like, of course, you're going to give them the money back, right? You just will. If you don't, you're an idiot. So yeah, that's how I'd look at it. With guarantees, I'll probably do a whole other video on it because there's so much detail that goes into it. But I wouldn't overthink it. Right now, you just need a simple guarantee that you understand and you're confident in. You don't need to have like some really ridiculous guarantee with 25 conditions. I would stay away from that. I used to do that. Stay away from it. It's not worth it. You're going to get a lot of bad press because your sales team, if you get to that point, is just going to just rely too much on it. And yeah, that can become an issue. Okay. So next, once you have this detailed out, you have the offer, you want to go into the system. So the best system and the best ad strategy is simply direct response. This is obviously, again, the caveat to this is to reach 100K a month, right? Once you go past that point, you can't just rely on one ad, one offer. You can, maybe if you're lucky, to 200K a month, but yeah, let's just talk about adding 100K a month new from paid ads. Direct response is the best. What I mean by that is like, hey, audience, this is my offer to you. If you're interested, click on this ad. Like that is the best strategy. Okay. Now, the best funnel to use is a VSL funnel. The reason for this was VSL funnel with a survey. Okay. But the reason for this is because you're allowing to get them nurtured and educated before they even speak to you or before they even show any interest. So what we want to do is we want to have as many people see the offer as much as possible. The more eyeballs on the offer with context around how it works, the more people you're going to have that are interested, that understand what you do. Okay. If you go from an ad to a DM, you're going to get loads more people, DMing you, but then there's a different level of constraint. Now you have loads of conversations with loads of people that you actually don't want to be speaking with. Whereas if you front load the ad strategy, so let's say you spend $10,000 a month on ads and you spend $5 a click. Wow, my maths ain't that good. So $10,000 divided by 5. Let's just do it up here. So you have 2,000 clicks or, slash traffic a month. If you have a 5%, which is very conservative, a 5% conversion on that funnel, the maths is coming back into it. You're going to have 100 leads / appointments, whatever it ends up being, but I'll explain what in a second. So that's, you can literally saying, okay, it's $100 a conversion, right? Now we're going to go into the sales in a second, but the reason why the VSL funnel works is because you're able to get cheap traffic, probably anywhere from $2 to $10. I see typically. I'd say $5 is the average a click. It all depends on the size of the audience, so how much you're spending on a click and how good the offer is. But they're very easy to optimize. So $2 to $10 a click, and then you're obviously aiming for anywhere between 5 to 10% conversion, which can be 100 all the way to 200 leads, and then $50 to $100 of conversion. If you're getting $5 a click. So again, but it's very easy to optimize. If the ad's not getting enough clicks, you just make better ads, right? If your funnel's not converting, you make better offers and better VSLs, whatever. Like it's not complicated once you understand what is what. All you're doing is trying to get as many clicks as possible and trying to get as many people that click to convert into that conversion, which the conversion mechanism should always be at this stage 20% to schedule a call, right? So you can have questions and surveys, but the main thing in the beginning is getting people on the calendar, okay? The more people you speak to on a Zoom call, the more money you will make. It's as simple as that. I promise you. The more people you get on your calendar, the more money you'll make. The only con is that it takes a lot of time to do sales calls, and that's why you hire closers, okay? But in the very beginning, you can get to 100K a month on your own on a sales call. You're just going to be very, very, very limited to how much time you have. But what I typically see is going from probably 10 to 30 to 50K a month and then getting a sales rep and then going to 100K a month with a sales rep, okay? Which I'm going to explain how to do it in a second. But this is all about adding or getting to 100K a month with just running ads, okay? So again, direct response ads, very simple. Call out the audience, hook them in, offer them something. The call to action on the ad to be click on the button below, learn more, to watch the video. Have a 3 to 5 minute video, right? Which basically just dives into deeper about the context of how your program works, how your solution works, why they should believe you, the proof, everything like that. Don't overcomplicate it. And then you can have a survey, which I put an asterisk. So a survey only really works if you already have proof of concept on the offer. If it's a brand new offer, it makes more sense to not have the survey because you just want to make sure that people actually are interested. Once you're getting calls coming in consistently, you can add friction in the funnel by the form of a survey, which basically then just increases the cost and lowers the amount, but you're getting better quality leads coming through that funnel, okay? But again, the objective is the same, schedule a call, and then you can play around with creating better ads, better funnels, better VSLs, better offers to then get as many people booking on your calendar for as little as possible. And then what you want to have is the sales system or the sales strategy. And this is broken down into different steps. So the first thing is to qualify, right? We basically, what this means is we want to remove the bad leads. Okay, so think of people that are rude, people that don't give you answers, people that just want to cut to the chase, people that are never going to buy from you. We want to qualify them. So the way that we do that is we have a triage call, which can be anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes long. Okay, and it's basically, why did you book a call? What are you interested in? It's all about them, right? So the ad is all about you. The funnel is all about you. Now this triage call is all about them. So think of the doctor approach. Right? If you go to the doctor and you have a broken arm and he's going to ask you 25 questions about how it's broken, how much it hurts, how long it's been happening for, what have you tried to fix it already, all of this stuff before he prescribes you with a solution, right? Whether it's a pain medication, whether it's a cast, whether it's surgery, he's going to ask you questions beforehand before he even discusses the solution. It's the same thing here. You want to ask 20 questions to make sure that they are qualified for the solution. Because if they're not qualified for the solution, if they don't need it, if they have any red flags, you don't want to waste your time with those people. They will burn you out. Those are the ones that will never buy. They will zap all your energy and all your time. Okay. So for us, if we book 10 calls on triage, we're looking for 3 to 4 qualified second calls. Okay. That's typically what I see making the most sense. So really, from the 10 calls, we're looking at 30 to 40% qualification rate, which again is normal, especially when you have a good offer, because you're going to get a lot of broke people, a lot of people that aren't a good fit, just purely looking at it from a window shopping perspective, rather than I'm serious about growing my business, I'm serious about losing weight, whatever it is. Okay, so then what you can do is you can nurture these people. So the 3 to 4 people are then nurtured with content, whatever it is. Content is the best one because it's obviously evergreen. You can send someone a video they can watch and they can watch it anytime. So typically we'll send people content, proof, case studies, whatever it is, right? Now, once you've done that, you can obviously then pitch them, which is essentially, here's the steps that we take to solve your problem. Are you interested or not? Let's forget about all the fancy stuff. These people have a problem, you have a solution, it's their decision. Right? Some will say yes, some will say no. If you have a good offer and a good solution, naturally you're going to close 20%. Okay? You're going to close 20% on a good pitch. When you get good at objection handling, you can take that up to 30 to 40%, even 50, but let's just be realistic. I'd probably say if you're doing 30% close rate on qualified calls, you're in a very scalable situation. 20% is a bit flaky because it means that there's a skill problem to get more closers. Okay. but most people are on about a 20% when they start. Sales is a very deep skill. It requires a lot, and it's not something you can learn in a day. It takes practice, time and time and time again, a lot of no's, a lot of yeses before you're like very, very confident. And that's all it is. You will close more purely based on your confidence rather than anything else. And that's why people are naturally better at sales than other people, because they carry themselves better. They have more confidence when they're speaking. And that tends to be the biggest lever. But that comes from experience as well. Okay. But I said, if you believe in your system, you believe in your service, you will naturally close 20% of the people that are qualified to come through the system from the offer, through the ad, through the funnel. And obviously making sure they actually know who you are and what you do, and then nurtured properly. Okay. And then once you're at this point, if we go back to the maths, let's just do step 4 is the maths. So if you want to get to 100K a month, you're spending $10,000 a month on ads. This is best case scenario. And you're spending $5 a link click. Okay. And you're converting at 10% on the funnel. Right. So we're getting the 200 appointments in. Right. Let's just say the show rate's 60%. Let's even be more conservative. Let's say it's 50% show rate. It can be up to 80% in my experience. It can be as low as 40%. But these are things that are easily changed. Let's just go and be very conservative. 50% show rate. So you have 100 triage calls. You have 30 to 40 of them. Let's be conservative, say 30 qualified. And then you have a 20% close rate. That's 6 clients. And let's just say you're doing a 5K service. It's $30,000. So then what you have to do is look at how can we improve this, right? So how do we improve this? Well, one thing you can do is you spend more money. You can create better ads, so you lower the cost per click. You can create a better conversion on the funnel. The biggest lever here is the show rate. So then if you go 70% show rate, right, you're literally already going up to 140 triage calls, and then you're going straight up to there's a 20 then a 40% or even a 30%. So do 20, my maths ain't that good, 28 plus 14, whatever that is, 14 times 3, 42, right? So you're doing a 42 qualified. And again, this can be higher as well, right? So it could be 42, it could be an extra 14 on top of that. So it could go all the way to 56. It could even be higher, but I'm trying to be as conservative as possible and realistic as possible. There's at least 10 clients and they're going up to 50K, right? Just by increasing the show rate, just by doing that, right? But then if you get better at sales and you're doing a 30% close rate or even a 40% close rate, you're laughing, right? You really are. So if of 56 calls, so we do 5.6 times 4, you're doing 22 closes at 5K. That's where, and again, this is only on 10K a month ad spend. So what most people do, just for on the same page, most people will happily go to 20K a month in ads. They'll get 400 appointments. And again, you'll probably get booked less because your cost per link click will go up, your conversion will go down. But even when we say 350 appointments with a 70% show rate, so 350 to the 35, 70, 105, 245 triage calls. And then you do 30% or even 40%. So 245, 24.5 times 4, so 98. You're doing 98 qualified calls. You do that at 20%, even let's just say you're getting really good at sales. A third of them are qualified. You're looking at literally 30 plus clients, right? At 5K. Do you see where the numbers kind of break down? I know this is a long video and the real ones will stick around, but you can kind of see how you can have the same offer and the same system scale with only increasing the cost of ads, creating better ads for lower cost per click, better conversions on the funnel. We didn't even optimize this because it's probably, if I had a $5 link click and a 10% conversion, that's not the problem. That's very, very solid. Okay. If the link click was $1, I'm worried about that because $1 link clicks mean the audience is too broad. And in a high ticket space, you're most likely being very specific on the who. So you want the link click to be between $5 and $10, probably $3 to $10 most likely. And a 10% conversion on the funnel is like top 10% funnels. Like you're not getting much better. You could squeeze it up to 15%, but I rarely see it, especially to booked call. This isn't for a lead. This is to booked call. This is very, very good. Okay. So you can imagine speaking to 350 people, your goal here is to basically convert 10% of all calls. Now, the way that it chops down can be different, right? You could have a 90% show rate, but then a lower close rate. You could have a lower show rate and a really high close rate. The main thing is you want to be aiming for 10% of all calls booked are becoming clients, right? And that's how you really scale, okay? And again, you can also just charge more, which is probably one of the easiest things to do. You can do a 10K thing. You're now looking at 300K a month. You might collect 5K up front and then the rest is payment plans, but you're doing 300K revenue of 20K a month in ads. Okay, I've seen this happen, so it's not out of the ordinary. It's actually quite realistic because you're working from the belief that you're going to have really good ads because you care a lot. You have a really good funnel because you have a good offer that can help a lot of people, and then you have a good sales system in the back, and then you have a good qualification system and obviously a good sales system to convert 30 to 40%. Right. And obviously this is when you bring in the closers and you have the proof and everything else in between. Now, the last thing I want to say is, guys, if you want my help to do this, you're more than welcome to inquire about how we can potentially help you. I'm not going to say we can because I do not know anything about you. But if you are interested, you can go to the link in my bio. There's going to be a video that you can watch. And there's also going to be an opportunity for you to go through our funnel and to see if we can actually help you. You can book a time to speak with us. And we say no to a lot of people because we don't have a massive amount of capacity. I work one-on-one with every one of our clients. So I'm not trying to get 1,000 clients like other agencies. We stay around 50 clients active that we're working with at one time. So if we have spaces we can help, let's do it. If we can't, we'll let you know. But no harm, no foul. Okay. Hopefully this has been helpful. This is the truth. This is what works. This isn't me just making it up. This might change. And if it does, I'll do a video about it. Hope you have a wonderful day and I'll see you soon.